The next issue opens back in present day, where we see Wolverine pinned to the riverbed after being buried by the relentless Predator. As we see the hunter close in, the quick-thinking Logan would slice into his own flesh with his claws, creating a crimson cloud of blood to obstruct the alien's vision, giving the mutant just enough time to escape his grasp once again. Going back into the past, we continue where the last issue left off, as we see this same Predator who had infiltrated the Weapon X program, where he came across the unconscious body of Logan, who just had his skeleton encased with the infamous adamantium metal. Seeing that his prize was gift wrapped right in front of him, the Predator knew Wolverine was no normal man. Popping claws of his own, the beast then began to slice away at the man's skin and muscle tissue, revealing his metallic bones underneath. Awakening to the slight pain of getting your own chest cut open, Wolverine immediately activated his claws and pierced the skin of his stalker. Growing accustomed to his prey's attacks, the Predator then grabbed Logan's hand, stopping him from attacking further. Similar to the guard he killed outside the lab, he then brought out a pellet of mysterious gas, which he then sprayed into the X-Men's mouth, where we are then brought to a disturbing sight, as the flesh immediately began to melt off of Logan's face, leaving him nothing more than a bloodied, naked, metallic skull on the cold lab table. Believing he had finally seized victory, the hunter then grabbed Logan's body, where he then carried it through the cold Canadian woods to his cloaked ship. Bringing the mutant aboard his vessel, he laid the man's body on the floor of his trophy room, where he looked on at the ornate skulls of all his previous hunts, believing that this decades-long one just may have been his greatest. However, this victory would not come without its cost, as we see the alien scream out in pain from the wound that Wolverine had inflicted upon it. Using medicine to treat the injury, the Predator was soon met by a massive explosion which rocked the entire ship. This attack would be revealed to be the work of several military jets who were not too keen on an alien stealing their top-secret government weapon. Knowing he had to make his leave, the Predator activated the thrusters and prepared to launch, taking out one of the jets as he went to enter the atmosphere. Shocked to see this ship straight up flying into space, the soldiers requested permission to open fire before it could escape, only for the attack to barely phase it. During this commotion, we would see Wolverine's healing factor kick in, as the still faceless mutant would wake, filled with nothing but berserker rage. With an animalistic fury, Logan would tear a hole to the side of the ship, where he was then sucked into Earth's gravity and plummeted back to the planet below. Crashing into the ground as if he were a comet himself, the military would discover the charred but still living remains of the Weapon X program. Scooping up the man's body, the soldiers discovered the helmet of the Predator among the wreckage. Fascinated at this discovery, the military scientists would then study this device, which they would then use to create Logan's infamous helmet he wore during Weapon X training to help him become an even deadlier weapon of vengeance. Later on, we would see a fully recovered Logan arrive to the ruins of the Weapon X lab, holding a mysterious case. We then see him open this case, where he takes out the Predator's iconic mask. Despite having the majority of his memories erased from the government, Logan's body, and perhaps even his soul, remembered just what this creature was, and that it would soon return for him. Putting the mask on a stake, Wolverine set this as a warning, and even a challenge, for things would be on his terms the next time they would duel. Years later in Japan, we see our hero training the art of swordsmanship under Master Muramasa. Working with the man to refine his body, mind, and spirit, the men were soon interrupted by a familiar presence. that presence being the predator, donning a more primal skull-type mask, wishing to finally claim this hunt once and for all.